welcome to Byte-Sized Tech.
Seriously, think about it. It's a question we're all having to ask ourselves more and more these days.
I mean, this week, it feels like technology is just completely blurring the lines between what's real and what's not. We've got AI music that can fool just about anyone, deepfakes that are getting, well, weird, and new hardware that's literally building entirely new worlds. So today, we're going to break down how our reality is getting a massive update.
All right, so let's start with the stuff that's already out there, the AI that's kind of woven itself into our culture, a lot of times without us even realizing it. So get this. A recent survey from Deezer and Ipsos played a bunch of songs for 9,000 people. And a whopping 97% of them, 97%, couldn't tell the difference between a song made by a human and one made by AI. It's like the musical Turing test has been passed, and most of us just completely missed it.
And this right here, this really shows how we're all feeling about it. We're totally split. On one hand, a lot of us are curious, right? But on the other hand, way more of us, a full 80%, are saying, hey, we want a label on this stuff. We're fascinated for sure, but we're also kind of creeped out by the idea of being fooled and really worried about what this means for actual human artists. Okay, but it's not just our playlists. The AI imposter thing is getting way weirder and honestly a bit darker. It's moving into the world of internet memes. And this quote from Mashable, it absolutely nails the vibe for what we're about to talk about. It's this phenomenon called Kirkification. And what it is, it's people using deepfake tech to paste the face of a recently deceased influencer onto thousands of different memes. It's pretty morbid, and it's gone completely viral. It's a really stark example of how these AI tools are being used to push the boundaries of what's considered okay in internet culture. And it brings up some really tough questions about how we deal with things like grief and humor online, and what role this powerful tech plays in all of it.
So this whole AI blurring the lines thing, it's not just happening out there on the wild west of the internet. Nope. It's being deliberately built right into the devices in our pockets and the software we use every single day.
Okay, check this out. Google's latest Pixel feature drop has this new AI model, and they're calling it Nano Banana, which lets you edit photos just by typing what you want. You can literally just type, hey, take off the sunglasses and make everyone smile, and boom, the AI does it. Instantly. That is a massive leap forward. It's like having a pro photo editor living inside a text box on your phone. And it's not just about creative stuff. This also shows how AI is basically becoming our own personal assistant. It can summarize those ridiculously long group chats you're in, it can make sure you see messages from the important people in your life, and it can even flag messages that look like scams. It's this whole suite of tools designed to help you manage and protect your digital life.
But not everyone is thrilled about this deep AI integration. Not by a long shot. When Microsoft started talking about their plans for an agentic OS, the internet basically erupted. The backlash was immediate and honestly pretty brutal. People are pushing back, and they're pushing back hard, against the idea of their computers just acting on their own. It's raising huge concerns about privacy, about control, and about what could go wrong. So what even is an agentic OS? Well, that's the key here. This isn't just like Siri or Alexa, where you ask it to do something. We're talking about an operating system that tries to anticipate what you need and then takes action for you, sometimes without you even asking. That is a fundamental shift in who's in control, you or your computer. And it brings up some massive questions about consent and our own autonomy. All right, so let's shift gears a little bit, because this evolution of our digital world, it isn't just happening in the code. The actual hardware, the physical stuff we hold in our hands, is also going through a huge transformation. And it's creating entirely new worlds for gaming, for work, and just for hanging out. And speaking of hardware, Valve, the company behind Steam, the biggest PC gaming platform on the planet, is making a huge play. They've just announced a whole new ecosystem of devices, all set to drop in early 2026. And this could seriously shake up the entire console market. And they're not just dropping one new gadget. Oh no, they're launching a whole 3-part system. First, you've got the Steam Machine. This is a beast of a console meant for your living room. Then there's the Steam Frame, a wireless VR headset that lets you play not just VR games, but also your regular PC games. And finally, a totally redesigned Steam controller. I mean, talk about ambitious. This is a huge move. But honestly, the biggest news here, the real game changer, might be this.
The Steam frame is going to be compatible with Android apps. A Valve engineer confirmed it. They're opening the floodgates for Android apps to run on Steam. Think about what that means. It could completely erase the line between mobile gaming and PC gaming, creating one giant unified library of, well, everything.
But at the same time, there's a totally different vision for our future with smart glasses. A company called Even Realities is launching glasses that are all about privacy and social comfort. They're deliberately taking out the camera and external speakers. Their whole thing is using AI to help you with conversations, to augment your existing reality. So you've got Valve over here trying to create brand new virtual worlds, and Even Realities trying to subtly improve the one we're in. It's a really interesting split in how companies think we should be using this tech.
Okay, so we've spent all this time talking about these artificial realities that we're building. For our last story, let's just take a step back and get a little dose of cosmic perspective. A reminder of the insane power and scale of the actual universe we live in.
No, really. Just take a second and try to wrap your head around that question. What in the universe is brighter than 10 trillion suns? Believe it or not, that number's real. Astronomers just spotted a cosmic flare that, at its peak, was as bright as 10 trillion suns. It's the brightest and most distant one we've ever seen, coming from a supermassive black hole 10 billion light-years away. To put that into perspective, that's like standing on one side of the universe and seeing a flashlight on the other.
So what was it? Well, this mind-blowing explosion has a name. It's called a tidal disruption event. What astronomers actually saw was a star at least 30 times bigger than our own sun, that got a little too close to a supermassive black hole and was just violently ripped to shreds by its gravity. We literally witnessed the flash from a star being eaten. And that really brings us full circle. We've talked about AI that can perfectly copy human creativity, tools that can literally rewrite what's in our photos, and hardware that builds whole new worlds from nothing. But as we get better and better at creating our own realities, an event like this is just a really humbling reminder of the raw, unimaginable power of the universe that's already out there, completely separate from anything we do.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.